Welcome to my morning pot analysis videos on Thursday 14th of March with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. Sterling is still the big mover. We've got further chaos in the UK Parliament. They still are voting consistently against the government. The government has completely and utterly lost control of this whole situation. You've got ministers that are voting and breaking three-line whips. And it seems as though that there is a move towards a likely softer Brexit, although ultimately, as things stand at the moment, there are still every single option on the table, and every single possible outcome could still happen. Now they're voting today for an extension to Article 50, and if that goes through, then the government will have to go to the EU and apply for an extension. Again, that's not guaranteed. It has to be a unanimous decision by the EU 27 to allow that to happen. What form would that extension also take? Equally, Theresa May is still likely to bring, she's going to be bringing back her deal for the third time to be voted in Parliament next week. And again, is that going to pressure some of the sort of more Brexiteer-leaning MPs to actually vote for the deal this time? So still all manner of options on the table as to the outcome. In terms of uncertainty, still remains, but there is a sort of a gradual move towards a more positive outlook. You saw a decent session on Wall Street yesterday. You saw the S&P 500 actually breaking above resistance, although it didn't quite make it into the close, 2,810. What we've seen is Treasury yields picking up a touch today as the recent negative outlook for the dollar has just taken a little bit of respite. The dollar has unwound some of that initial weakness, as we can see a little bit of a tick higher today across the Forex majors. Will it last is the question. Equity markets in European trading seem to be fairly positive at the moment. Now, it's interesting that the commodity prices are down, but you can see silver underperforming gold. That tends to happen when sentiment is a little bit more on the negative side. We see that overnight the Chinese data was pretty mixed. You saw industrial production missing expectations, a slight beat of expectations on retail sales, and also urban or fixed asset investment a tick higher and better than expected. So sort of mixed-ish, I suppose, on that. And you saw Asian markets were basically mixed to slightly lower overnight. Okay, so where are we looking at today? Well, new home sales today is pretty much the only real data point we've got to look out for, and that's this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Still getting my times mixed up with the daylight savings time shift of the States. 2 o'clock for that new home sales, expected to be basically around where we saw last month. So my chart today is Euro Swissy. Now, what we have seen actually is interestingly the euro starting to perform better again, and this is reflected in the fact that Euro Swissy has just ticked a shade higher in the last few sessions. Now, this is breaking what looks to be a descending triangle for Euro Swissy. And now, if I sort of zoom out here, you can see that 113.50 is the basis of a pivot on Euro Swissy for dating back to May 2018, so quite a long time. 113.50 is a pivot, and breaking out above that, it becomes supportive. You can see that the momentum indicators, MACD line, is beginning to tick higher. The stochastics have broken to 1 month highs. The RSI is back above 50. Yesterday, or actually it was Tuesday, we saw the market moving to a 2-week high. So it's starting to build something again, I think, on Euro Swiss. And breaking that little downtrend would suggest we're sort of starting to move out of that triangle, which is a positive development. Breakout on a closing basis above 13.90 would reopen the highs again, 14.45, but ultimately if we start to see that, then you could see that the market moving back towards the resistance of the October high 15 figure in due course potentially. But it is interesting that the basis of support is 113 to 113.50, so anything inside that seems to be a bit of a buying opportunity now with this improvement in the momentum. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.